Something very strange is happening to you, and deep down, you already know it. You did not find this message by accident today. It is not random that among millions of faces, millions of videos, and millions of voices fighting for your attention, your eyes stopped here. An invisible hand has pulled you into this exact moment. A door inside your spirit has just opened, and if you leave too soon, you may miss the final warning heaven has been holding back specifically for you. Listen carefully. In the next 30 minutes, a secret about your life will be placed directly in front of you. A secret connected to the tears you have hidden for far too long. A secret connected to the person who has been silently watching your light from a distance. A secret connected to the divine door that is about to receive a knock, not in your imagination, not in a blurry dream, but in the very reality that God is beginning to shift for you. Archangel Michael says, the one listening to this message is not an ordinary person. They have been called out of darkness, set apart for a sacred assignment. And at this very moment, heaven is sending the final signal before the great door opens. Can you feel it, that pressure in your chest? That strange pull that will not let you leave? That feeling that something is about to be revealed, but your mind has not yet found the words to name it. That is not imagination. That is your spirit recognizing a sacred signal. That is the deepest part of you hearing the call of heaven, because this message is about you. It is about the nights you cried and no one knew. It is about the times you tried to look fine while something inside you was almost breaking apart. It is about the people who walked out of your life not because you were not valuable enough, but because they were not permitted to enter the next season of glory with you. It is about the doors that closed, not to punish you, but to protect you from places too small for the crown God has prepared for you. You thought you had been forgotten, but you were not. You thought your prayers had fallen into silence, but they had not. You thought God did not see the moments when you wiped your own tears in the dark, but He saw everything. He saw how you were betrayed and still refused to become bitter. He saw how you were underestimated and still protected the purity of your heart. He saw how you were thrown into the furnace of testing, but instead of being consumed, you walked out carrying a stronger light than before. And now, acceleration is beginning. Something that was delayed is being released. A door that was once locked is beginning to shake. A person who once stood far away from your life is being moved by heaven to step closer. This person is not coming in an ordinary way. They are carrying a gift, a recognition, a restoration, a commitment that may silence every person who ever doubted you. But this is the part you must not miss if you leave before the end. You will not know the signs that this person is coming closer. You will not know why everything is happening at this exact time. And you will not know the final warning heaven wants to give you before the door of destiny opens, because not every blessing only requires you to receive it. Some blessings require you to stand in the right position, to carry the right presence, to put your spiritual armor back on. Do not panic. Do not chase. Do not lower your value just because the thing you once prayed for has finally appeared. God does not want to see you crying over the same wound one more time. He does not want you begging for crumbs of affection from people who never knew how to honor the light inside you. He did not call you out of darkness so you could return to living like someone abandoned. He called you to rise, to reclaim your crown, to step through the door that no enemy can shut. So give this time to God. Stay. Listen until the end. Do not treat this like an ordinary video. Treat it as a sacred signal sent at the exact moment your soul needed it most, right now. Comment 777 and declare, ready to receive. Drop a heart. Hit like. Subscribe to this channel. Save this message as a sacred seal, and share it with someone who needs to know that God has never forgotten them. Do not leave. The secret has not been opened yet. The door has already begun to move. Before heaven reveals who is coming toward your door, You must understand this. First, your pain was never wasted. The nights you cried in silence were not invisible. The moments you smiled while something inside you was breaking were not ignored. The prayers you whispered when nobody was around did not fall into empty air. God saw every tear, every betrayal, every disappointment. Every time you had to gather your own broken pieces and keep moving as if your heart was not bleeding. Chosen one, you thought you were alone in the wilderness, but heaven was watching. You thought the silence meant God had forgotten you, but the silence was actually the place where He was rebuilding your spirit, strengthening your armor, and preparing you for a door too heavy for your old version to open. They betrayed you, but you did not become cruel. They misunderstood you, but you did not sell your soul for approval. They left, but they did not take your destiny with them. What walked away from you was not strong enough to walk into the next season with you. That rejection was protection. That delay was preparation. That lonely season was not punishment. It was divine separation. The Bible says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned." Isaiah 4:3-2. And that is your story. You passed through emotional waters that should have drowned you, but you are still breathing. You walked through fire that should have destroyed your peace, but your light is still alive. You entered the furnace wounded, but you are coming out refined, crowned, and marked by God. Now listen carefully, because this is where everything begins to shift. The pain that once made you question your worth is becoming the oil on your head. The rejection that once broke your confidence is becoming proof that God was redirecting your steps. You are not the same person who entered that storm. Something in you has changed. Something in you has awakened. And that is why the next part matters so deeply. Your survival has activated a divine movement. A locked door is beginning to shake. A hidden seal is breaking. And someone heaven has been moving in secret is about to step closer. There is a reason you have been feeling this pressure in your spirit. This strange sense that something is shifting even before you can see it with your eyes. It is because an invisible seal has broken over your life. Something that held you back for months, maybe even years, has lost its authority. The delay, the confusion, the spiritual resistance, the people who stood in the way, the doors that refused to open, the heaviness that kept returning every time you tried to rise, all of it is being shaken by the hand of God. This is not a small movement. This is not a gentle adjustment. This is a divine clearing. Archangel Michael says, "The door that man tried to close, heaven has now opened. What was blocked in the spirit cannot remain blocked in the physical realm." So, understand what is happening right now. The path between your present life and your promised restoration is being cleared. The hidden key has been released. The divine blueprint is no longer waiting in silence. Heaven is moving pieces, removing obstacles, disturbing false peace, exposing hidden intentions, and making room for the person, the provision, and the breakthrough assigned to your name. This is why certain connections suddenly feel different. This is why your old life no longer fits your spirit. This is why you can no longer tolerate places that once felt normal, conversations that drain your soul, or people who only recognize your value when they need your light. God is separating you from what cannot enter the next door. The floodgates are not opening for the old version of you. They are opening for the refined version, the armored version, the version that survived the furnace and still chose faith. Do not ignore this sacred signal. A locked door is shaking. A divine road is being cleared. And what comes next will prove that heaven was not delaying you, heaven was positioning you. Now you must understand why this person noticed you in the first place. It was not because you were loud. It was not because you were chasing attention. It was not because you were trying to prove your worth to the world. They noticed you because your light survived the storm. They noticed you because when life tried to bury you under betrayal, rejection, loneliness, and disappointment, something inside you refused to die. You kept rising, quietly, painfully, without applause, without explanation, without needing the people who broke you to come back and admit what they did. This person is used to being surrounded by people who want something from them. People who want access, money, status, validation, protection, or a place near their throne. They are used to being admired. They are used to being obeyed. They are used to walking into rooms where others adjust themselves just to be noticed. But then they saw you, and you did not move like the others. You did not throw yourself at their feet. You did not beg for their attention. You did not lower your crown just to enter their world. You stood in your own quiet authority, and that disturbed something deep inside them. Chosen one. Your silence became louder than everyone else's performance. Your peace became more powerful than their empire. Your independence became a mystery they could not solve. They watched you lose people and still keep your heart clean. They watched you walk through fire and still refuse to become bitter. They watched you rebuild your spirit brick by brick, prayer by prayer, tear by tear, until the version of you that emerged was no longer easy to touch, easy to manipulate, or easy to forget. That is why they cannot escape your presence now. Your light has entered their thoughts. Your strength has challenged their pride. Your calmness has exposed the emptiness of the world they built without you. And the more they try to ignore it, the stronger it becomes. Heaven allowed them to see what others overlooked. God allowed them to recognize the treasure that was hidden under your wounds. They are not drawn to the old version of you that begged to be chosen. They are being pulled toward the refined version, the armored version, the crowned version, the one who survived the storm and became impossible to replace. And what comes next is even stronger. Because the moment you stopped chasing, something divine began chasing you. Now listen with your whole spirit. Because this is not a small detail. This is the law that changed everything. The miracle did not move toward you when you were begging, chasing, over-explaining, waiting by the phone, checking for signs, lowering your standards, and trying to force people to see your value. Back then, your hands were still wrapped around things God was trying to remove. Your heart was still bleeding for doors heaven had already judged unworthy of your destiny. You were still asking God to bless what he was trying to break. But the moment you stopped chasing, the atmosphere shifted. The moment you stopped begging for crumbs, heaven began preparing the table. The moment you stopped needing their approval to feel chosen, your spirit rose into a level of authority that the enemy could no longer manipulate. This is why the timing is so serious. This is why you cannot treat this season casually. Something happened when you surrendered. Something shook in the invisible realm when you finally said, God, if it is not from you, I release it. That sentence was not weakness. It was a weapon. That surrender was not loss. It was a throne being built under your feet. When you stopped clinging to what kept wounding you, your soul became magnetic. Your peace became dangerous. Your silence became a sacred signal. Your detachment became divine attraction. And now, the very thing you once cried for is being moved toward you without you having to crawl, perform, or prove yourself anymore. This is not luck. This is divine timing. This is the grand design of God, unfolding after the wilderness. You released what was not sent by heaven, and now heaven is sending what was written in your blueprint. The door is opening because you are no longer standing outside it like a beggar. You are standing before it like someone who has been refined by fire, armed with faith, crowned with endurance, and ready for restoration. Do not look back now. What is coming next is not chasing the old you. It is being sent to meet the version of you that finally knows their worth. There is something you must prepare your heart to understand. The one being moved toward you is not approaching like an ordinary person with ordinary intentions. This is someone who has lived under the weight of influence. Someone familiar with rooms where decisions are made quietly and lives are changed with a single signature. Their world has been built on control, image, power, timing, and strategy. People study their face before speaking. People measure their words around them. People adjust their posture just to be accepted near their circle. They are used to being pursued, used to being admired, used to seeing others stretch their hands toward what they carry. But with you, something broke, not loudly, not publicly, not in a way the outside world could understand. It happened in the hidden chambers of their heart, in the private place where pride can no longer perform. They looked at you and saw something money could not purchase. They felt something status could not command. Your presence became a mirror, and in that mirror, their empire suddenly looked strangely empty. The applause around them became noise. The luxury around them became decoration. The power they once trusted began to feel useless in front of one soul they could not impress, control, or replace. That is why this is serious. Heaven is not sending someone who merely likes your beauty, your kindness, or your mystery. Heaven is confronting a powerful heart with the one thing it cannot dominate: your God-given worth. Your spirit is not for sale. Your peace is not a trophy. Your love is not a prize to be collected by someone who refuses to bow before truth. And because God has marked you, anyone who comes close now must come with clean hands, a humbled heart, and a willingness to honor what they once could only watch from a distance. The Bible says, "But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong." 1 Corinthians 1:2-7. That is the divine reversal happening here. The person who looked untouchable is being touched by conviction. The person who seemed unshakable is being shaken by love. The person who once wore an invisible crown is now being brought to a place where they may have to lay it down at your feet. And when they come, do not be shocked by their vulnerability. Do not be confused if their confidence trembles. God is not just bringing them to your door. He is stripping away the armor they used to hide behind. Because what is coming next cannot be built on pride. It must be built on surrender. Now, picture this carefully. Because what is coming is not only a scene, it is a spiritual announcement. There will be a moment when the air around you feels different, when the room becomes strangely still, when your spirit senses something before your ears hear anything. Then comes the knock. Not just a sound against wood, not just a visitor standing outside. That knock will carry the weight of a season ending. It will be the sound of old pain losing its authority, the sound of a locked chapter being sealed forever, the sound of God allowing what was hidden in the spirit to finally step into the physical realm. And when that door opens, do not expect pride to be the first thing you see. Do not expect the same cold confidence this person has shown to the outside world. The one who has been moved toward you will not stand there as someone untouchable. They may arrive carrying influence, status, and a name that makes other people move carefully. But in front of you, something will be different. The mask will not sit right anymore. The armor will feel too heavy. Their eyes will say what their mouth may struggle to confess. They will not come merely to impress you. They will come because something inside them can no longer stay away. This is where heaven turns the whole story upside down. The person who once knew how to command rooms may suddenly struggle to command their own voice. The hands that once signed decisions, held power, and controlled outcomes may tremble before your presence. Not because you are trying to dominate them, but because your spirit carries something their world could never give them: peace, truth, and a light that cannot be bought. Archangel Michael says, Do not mistake their trembling for weakness. It is the sound of pride dying before love. And chosen one, you must understand the seriousness of that moment. This is not a game. This is not a shallow pursuit. This is not someone trying to collect you like another trophy for their kingdom. What stands at your door is a soul being confronted by what God placed inside you. They are not only bringing emotion, they are bringing a confession, a gift, a turning point, and a request to enter the sacred space of your life. But stay with this message, because the knock is only the beginning. What they carry behind that door is even greater than their trembling heart. The next part will reveal the kind of public restoration, honor, and divine compensation that can silence every voice that once doubted your worth. What they bring through that door will not be small. It will not be a weak apology wrapped in beautiful words. It will not be another hidden connection, another private promise, another uncertain situation where you are forced to guess where you stand. No, this time, the restoration comes with weight. It comes with evidence. It comes with a level of honor that cannot be denied, ignored, or quietly pushed into the shadows. God is not bringing you into another season of confusion. He is bringing you into a season where what once wounded you will have to watch Him lift you. There are people who thought your story was finished. There are people who saw you crying and secretly believed you would never rise again. Some mocked you in silence. Some walked away when your life looked heavy. Some judged your worth based on the season when you had nothing visible to prove who you were becoming. But heaven kept a record. God saw the betrayal. God saw the humiliation. God saw the moments when you were forced to clap for others while your own heart was bleeding. And now, the same place where you were overlooked is becoming the place where you will be recognized. This is why Psalm 2:3-5 belongs to this moment. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. That is not just poetry. That is a divine pattern. God does not only restore you in private, sometimes He blesses you where the doubters can see it. Not to feed pride, but to prove that His hand was on you even when your life looked broken. The table is being prepared. The oil is being poured. The cup is beginning to overflow, and this restoration will not touch only one area of your life. I speak blessing over your finances, over your health, over your family, over your purpose, over your home, over your peace, and over the divine assignment God has placed inside you. May every dry place begin to receive rain. May every closed account, closed opportunity, closed relationship, and closed door that belongs to your destiny begin to open under divine authority. May abundance find you without stealing your humility. May love find you without breaking your peace. May honor find you without making you forget who carried you through the wilderness. This person is not coming only to admire you. They are coming as part of a larger restoration. Their arrival will be a sign that God is changing your atmosphere, your circle, your access, and your position. What was hidden is becoming visible. What was delayed is being released. What was spoken against you is being overturned. So declare it now. Comment, I step onto my throne. Let heaven hear that you are ready to receive restoration, honor, divine provision, and the public confirmation that God never forgot your name. But before this public restoration fully enters your life, heaven is placing one final warning in your spirit. Do not let the size of the blessing make you forget the price of your healing. Do not let the sound of the knock make you run back into the old version of yourself. Because the same door that brings honor can also reveal whether you are truly ready to carry it. This is the final test before the throne. Think of Gatsby standing in the darkness, staring across the water at the green light, reaching for the dream that ruled his whole soul. But now the story has changed. You are not the one standing on the dock begging for the light to choose you. You are the green light, You are the sacred desire. You are the hidden treasure at the end of someone else's long night. You are the one heaven protected, refined, and lifted from the ashes. So when destiny knocks, do not answer like someone starving for love. Answer like someone who knows God already approved them. Do not panic. Do not rush. Do not open the door with fear trembling in your chest as if the blessing will disappear if you take 1 second too long. That fear belongs to the old wilderness version of you. That desperation belongs to the season when you accepted crumbs because you did not yet understand the crown on your life. But that season is dead. God did not bring you through fire, betrayal, silence, and rejection just for you to collapse the moment restoration appears. Your calmness is your spiritual armor. Your silence is your authority. Your peace is your crown. If this person is truly sent by heaven, they will not require you to beg, chase, perform, or bleed to prove your worth. They must meet the healed version of you. The crowned version, the version that knows access to your life is sacred. So declare it now. Comment, I hold the power. Not the power to control another person, but the power to remain whole, steady, peaceful, and crowned when destiny finally knocks. And now you must understand something deeper. What God is doing in your life will not end with you. This restoration is not only for your comfort. This blessing is not only for your tears. This breakthrough is not only so you can finally breathe again. God is turning your story into a living testimony. The same places where you almost gave up will become the places where someone else finds courage. The same wounds you thought disqualified you will become evidence that heaven can still heal, restore, and raise a person from the ashes. One day, someone will look at your life and say, if God did it for them, maybe He can still do it for me. They will see how you survived the wilderness, how you walked through the furnace, how you lost people but did not lose your soul, how you were delayed but not denied, hidden but not forgotten, wounded but not destroyed. Your rising will preach without you needing to explain. Your peace will speak. Your restoration will carry light into rooms where others are still drowning in darkness. So receive this blessing now. May God bless your finances with divine provision and wise stewardship. May He bless your health with strength, renewal, and peace in your body. May He bless your family with healing, protection, unity, and restored love. May He bless your purpose with clarity, courage, open doors, and holy acceleration. May your home become a place of safety. May your name be covered. May your future be guarded. And may every chapter that once made you cry become proof that God was writing a greater testimony all along. And now, the final secret is this. The person coming toward your life is connected to the version of you God had to build in the fire. They are not being sent to meet the broken version that begged to be chosen. They are not being drawn to the wounded version that accepted less because loneliness felt too heavy. They are being moved toward the refined version, the awakened version, the crowned version, the one who survived the wilderness and finally remembered their worth. The delay was not denial. The silence was not abandonment. The fire was not destruction. Every closed door, every unanswered prayer, every painful separation, every tear that fell when nobody was there to hold you was part of a greater preparation. God was not punishing you. He was positioning you. He was teaching your spirit how to carry what your old self would have mishandled. He was training your heart to receive love without worshiping it, honor without losing humility, abundance without forgetting the one who opened the floodgates. Archangel Michael says, stand still. The crown is not coming to find the old version of you. It is coming to confirm the person God has made you become. So when the door opens, do not tremble like someone unworthy. Smile like someone heaven has already approved. Stand like someone whose name has been written into a divine blueprint. Breathe like someone who knows the storm did not win. Your old chapter is closed. Your throne has called your name. Your restoration is no longer only a promise. It is beginning to move, right now. Activate the coronation. Comment, "I am ready to wear the crown." Save this message as sacred proof. Like this video. Subscribe for more divine messages. And share it with someone who needs strength tonight. The door is opening. The throne has called your name. Step forward, chosen one, and rule the life God restored for you.